Have you ever felt a mysterious pull, as though your life is part of a story far greater than you've ever imagined? What if the challenges you faced, the dreams you can't shake, and the moments that feel like destiny are not random at all, but clues to a purpose that stretches far beyond this lifetime? What if I told you the answers to these questions have been hiding in plain sight, embedded within the sacred words of the Bible, secrets that point to something extraordinary, a divine plan that connects your soul to a journey spanning ages, guided by the hand of God? Think for a moment. Have you ever experienced a déjà vu so vivid it felt like you'd lived that moment before? Or felt drawn to certain people or places as though they were always meant to be part of your story? These are not mere coincidences. They could be whispers of a spiritual truth the Bible has preserved for those ready to see it. Throughout Scripture, there are cryptic clues, hidden passages, and profound revelations about God's chosen ones, souls called to fulfill extraordinary missions. From Elijah's reappearance in John the Baptist to the eternal priesthood of Melchizedek, these stories hint at something mind-blowing, a spiritual legacy that transcends time. But here's the real question. Could you be one of God's chosen ones? What if every moment of pain, joy, and triumph in your life has been preparing you for a divine purpose, carefully designed by God Himself? Before we dive into the 7 hidden secrets in the Bible that reveal the mysteries of past lives and eternal purpose, take a moment to connect with this message. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is more than just a video. It's a doorway into understanding who you truly are and why you're here. Together, we'll uncover the timeless truths God has placed in His Word, waiting for those ready to embrace their spiritual calling. Stay with me. What you're about to discover could change everything. The Bible is more than a collection of stories. It is a gateway to divine truths that whisper of eternal mysteries. Hidden within its sacred pages are profound insights that hint at a purpose far beyond this lifetime. Let us delve deeper into these passages, uncovering their extraordinary relevance to our lives today. In Matthew 17:10-13, the disciples pose a curious question to Jesus. Why do the teachers of the law insist that Elijah must return before the Messiah comes? Jesus' answer is as startling as it is revealing. Elijah has already come, and the people did not recognize him. He declares that John the Baptist is the fulfillment of this prophecy. This moment challenges us to see beyond the surface, to understand that God's work is not confined to one lifetime. Souls chosen for divine missions may return, carrying forward tasks of immense importance in God's eternal plan. What if the same truth applies to us, echoing across time? Next, we turn to the solemn words of Job 1:21. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job's declaration captures the essence of life's cyclical nature, an intricate pattern of beginnings and endings, all ordained by God. These words suggest that life is not a single, linear journey, but a series of divine transitions, each one preparing the soul for something greater. What if your experiences, your joys, your losses are stepping stones on an eternal path, crafted by God's hand? And then there is the enigmatic figure of Melchizedek, introduced in Hebrews 7:13. Melchizedek is described as a priest without father or mother, without genealogy, without beginning of days or end of life. He appears as a figure untouched by the bounds of time, a spiritual archetype that embodies eternity. What does this mean for us? Could it be that some roles, some purposes, transcend the confines of a single lifetime? Could the work God has begun in you stretch far beyond what you can now comprehend? Together, these passages unveil a startling truth. God's chosen ones are prepared for their missions, not in an instant, but through a process of divine refinement that may span lifetimes. Just as Elijah's spirit was embodied in John the Baptist to prepare the way for Christ, so too might God call upon others, perhaps even you, to step into roles of profound significance. Think about your own life for a moment. The challenges you've faced, the victories you've celebrated, the questions you carry. What if they are not random, but intentional? What if they are pieces of a divine puzzle, placed by God to prepare you for something extraordinary? The Bible's wisdom suggests that your journey is part of an eternal design, one that God has been shaping since the beginning of time. If this resonates with you, take a moment to pause and connect. Share your thoughts in the comments below with the words, "I am ready to uncover the truth." Let this be your declaration, your first step toward uncovering the mysteries of your own spiritual legacy. And stay with us, because what lies ahead is even more profound. The secrets we are about to uncover will challenge what you've believed and open your heart to the possibility of a purpose greater than you've ever imagined. Your story is part of something far bigger, and together we'll journey deeper into the truths God has revealed for those ready to listen. Secret 1. The cycle of spiritual preparation. Imagine the delicate and intentional hands of a potter shaping raw clay into a masterpiece. This imagery comes to life in Jeremiah 18:6, where God declares, "Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel." This isn't just a poetic metaphor. It reveals a fundamental truth about how God works in the lives of His chosen ones. The journey of God's chosen isn't random. It's a process of preparation. Just as clay must be molded, smoothed, and refined, so too must our souls undergo transformation to fulfill the divine missions entrusted to us. But here is the profound link to the central theme. This shaping isn't limited to a single lifetime. It spans lifetimes, with each cycle adding a new layer of depth and meaning to the soul. Have you ever wondered why certain challenges seem so personal, as though they were crafted just for you? It's because they are. God, the master potter, uses each trial to prepare His chosen ones for their ultimate purpose. Each success, each failure, every moment of doubt and clarity, they are all tools in His hands, shaping you into a vessel of His will. For God's chosen ones, this process is eternal. Just as Elijah's spirit returned in John the Baptist to prepare the way for Christ, your journey could be part of an ongoing cycle of preparation. What if your current struggles are not the beginning or the end, but a continuation of a process that God has been working on through time? The clay does not question the potter. It simply allows itself to be shaped. In the same way, your life is part of a greater plan, a divine design that only God can fully see. This cycle of spiritual preparation is not a punishment, it is a privilege. You are being prepared to fulfill a role that only God's chosen ones can take. Secret 2. divine memory across time. In Psalm 139:16, the psalmist writes, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." These words reveal a breathtaking truth about God's chosen ones. Their lives are not random, but meticulously planned and guided by God's eternal memory. Imagine for a moment that your soul story is written in a book held by God. Each page contains every detail of your existence, your joys, your sorrows, your triumphs, and your failures. But this book doesn't just record, it guides. God's memory is not bound by time. He sees your past, your present, and your future all at once, and He uses this divine memory to direct your path. Now, connect this truth to the central theme. God's chosen ones are part of an eternal narrative. The Bible repeatedly hints at the idea that a soul's journey may span more than one lifetime. God's memory bridges these lifetimes, ensuring that the lessons learned, the relationships formed, and the missions fulfilled in one chapter carry forward into the next. Have you ever experienced an unexplainable connection to a person or place, as though you've known them long before you met? Or did you feel an inner knowing about a decision, as if it were already written in your heart? These moments are not coincidences. They are echoes of God's memory, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your divine purpose. The story of God's chosen ones is eternal. Just as Elijah's spirit returned to prepare the way for Christ, your life may be part of a continuous journey, guided by God's infinite wisdom and His unwavering memory of who you are. But why is this significant? Because it means that nothing in your life is wasted. Every experience, no matter how small, is part of God's design. Even when you feel lost or insignificant, God remembers who you are and the purpose He created you to fulfill. Your role as one of God's chosen is not an accident. It is part of an eternal plan that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. The past lives of God's chosen ones are not just a fascinating mystery. They are proof of a divine continuity that binds us all to His eternal will. Stay with us as we continue to uncover these profound secrets. What lies ahead will not only challenge what you believe, but also awaken a deeper understanding of the extraordinary purpose God has for you. You are not just a part of history, you are part of eternity. Secret 3. Reincarnation in service of prophecy. In the book of Malachi 4:5-6, God promises, "I will send the prophet Elijah to you before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. He will turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and the hearts of the children to their parents." This prophecy is one of the Bible's most profound clues about reincarnation in the service of divine prophecy. Centuries later in the New Testament, Jesus Himself reveals that this prophecy has been fulfilled. He tells His disciples that John the Baptist is the Elijah who was to come, though few recognized him. This declaration is a striking moment that connects two lives, two missions, and two roles as part of a singular divine plan. The return of Elijah through John the Baptist is not a vague spiritual metaphor. It is evidence of how God calls upon His chosen ones to fulfill unfinished missions. Elijah's work as a prophet, preparing the hearts of God's people, was carried forward in John the Baptist's role as the forerunner of Christ. The same Spirit, the same purpose, transcended time to complete what was begun. Now consider how this connects to your own journey. Have you ever felt an unexplainable drive toward a purpose, as though it's something you've been preparing for your entire life, or even longer. This could be the whisper of a divine calling that spans beyond this single existence. God's chosen ones are not bound by the limits of one lifetime. Just as Elijah's spirit returned to pave the way for Christ, so too might God call upon you to continue a mission that began long before. The Bible shows us that God's plan is eternal, and His chosen ones are threads woven throughout it, returning when needed to fulfill His will. What if your life today is part of something much larger? A continuation of a role God designed for you before you were even born. It's a profound thought, but one that aligns perfectly with the eternal narrative of God's chosen ones. Secret 4. Divine testing through multiple lifetimes. In Ecclesiastes 12:7, we find these solemn words: "The dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." This verse reminds us of the cyclical nature of life and the divine connection between our souls and their Creator. But it also hints at a deeper truth. Life itself is a test, a refining process through which God prepares His chosen ones for eternal perfection. Think about the trials and tribulations you've faced in life. Each challenge, every moment of suffering, every decision that tests your character. They are not meaningless. They are the fires through which God purifies and refines the soul. But here's where it gets even more profound. What if this refining process doesn't begin or end with this life? The Bible often speaks of God's work in shaping His chosen ones, and Ecclesiastes 12:7 suggests a cyclical return of the soul to its Creator. This recurring connection allows for continuous growth, testing, and refinement. With each lifetime, the soul is given opportunities to grow closer to God's vision of divine perfection. Imagine a craftsman polishing a precious stone. It cannot be perfected in a single pass. The stone must be worked on repeatedly, each time becoming clearer, brighter, and more beautiful. In the same way, your life, your joys, your struggles, your triumphs are all part of God's ongoing work to bring you to spiritual perfection. But why would God call His chosen ones to endure such tests across multiple lifetimes? Because the stakes are high. The roles of God's chosen ones are of immense importance, often involving the salvation, guidance, or transformation of others. To fulfill these missions, the soul must be refined, strengthened, and prepared in ways that only the tests of life can accomplish. What if the challenges you face today are not the beginning, but the continuation of a journey you've been on for ages? And what if every moment of faith, resilience, and growth is bringing you closer to the divine perfection God has planned for you? As we uncover these mysteries, consider how your life fits into this eternal narrative. Stay with us, because the secrets ahead will deepen your understanding of what it means to be one of God's chosen ones, called and refined for a purpose that transcends time. Secret 5. The role of free will in the eternal plan. In Deuteronomy 30:9-20, God presents a powerful declaration to His people. "This day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live." This verse underscores a profound truth about God's chosen ones. While their purpose is divinely ordained, their path is shaped by the choices they make. Free will is one of the greatest gifts God has given us. It allows us to choose the path we walk, even as God's plan gently guides us toward His ultimate purpose. But here is the challenge. Our choices carry eternal weight. For those called to be God's chosen ones, the decisions we make ripple across time, impacting not only our present, but also our spiritual legacy. Imagine your life at a crossroads where divine guidance meets human choice. Each decision, whether small or monumental, is an opportunity to align with God's plan or stray from it. Even in the face of past mistakes, the beauty of free will lies in its power to redirect, to return to the path God has set for you. But how does this relate to the eternal nature of the soul? If life spans across lifetimes, free will becomes even more significant. The choices made in one life can shape the opportunities and challenges in the next. For God's chosen ones, free will is not a burden but a sacred responsibility. It allows them to grow, to rise, and to fulfill roles that only they are destined to play. In the eternal plan, God does not force His will upon us. Instead, He invites us to choose life, to choose purpose, and to choose the divine path He has laid before us. What choices are you making today? Are they leading you closer to the extraordinary purpose God has prepared for you as one of His chosen ones? Secret 6. Recognition of spiritual bonds across lifetimes. In 1 Samuel 18:1, the Bible describes the profound connection between David and Jonathan. Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. This bond is more than friendship. It is a spiritual connection so deep that it transcends explanation. Now imagine this. What if such connections are not limited to a single lifetime? What if the souls we are deeply tied to in one life reappear in another, continuing the journey together to fulfill God's greater plan? Consider the moments in your life when you've met someone and felt an instant, unexplainable connection as if you've known them forever. Or the relationships that seem to carry a weight of significance far beyond what the surface suggests. These could be spiritual bonds formed in another time, reuniting in this life to advance God's purpose. David and Jonathan's bond is a testament to the role of these connections in the lives of God's chosen ones. Their unity strengthened David in his mission, and their loyalty to each other became a source of courage and faith in the face of immense trials. In the same way, the souls God connects in one lifetime may be called together again in another to support, guide, and empower each other in fulfilling divine missions. These bonds remind us that we are not alone in our journey. God, in His infinite wisdom, places the right people in our lives, sometimes for a moment, sometimes for a lifetime, and perhaps even across lifetimes. Recognizing these connections is a gift, a way to see God's hand at work in the relationships that shape us. If you reflect on your life, who are the people who feel like they've always been part of your story? What if they truly have, walking with you through time, helping you to fulfill the extraordinary calling God has placed upon you? As we move forward, consider how these spiritual bonds fit into the greater narrative of your life. They are not coincidences, but divine appointments, orchestrated by God to support His chosen ones as they walk the path He has prepared for them. Stay with us, because the final secrets will tie everything together, offering a revelation that may change how you see your life and purpose forever. In Revelation 21 tambien, we find one of the Bible's most beautiful promises. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. This verse speaks to the culmination of God's plan, the ultimate destiny of His chosen ones. A moment of eternal joy, peace, and perfect union with Him. But how does this ultimate goal tie into the journey we've been exploring? Spiritual awakening is not a single event. It is the culmination of a journey that spans lifetimes, shaped by God's infinite wisdom and love. Each trial we endure, each victory we achieve, and each bond we form is part of this divine process, leading us closer to the ultimate goal of becoming fully aligned with God's will. Imagine your soul as a traveler, moving through lifetimes, collecting wisdom, shedding imperfections, and growing ever closer to the divine light. The pains you've endured, the questions you've wrestled with, the moments of joy that felt like glimpses of heaven, all of these are pieces of a greater puzzle. God is leading you, step by step, toward a state of spiritual awakening where you can fully embrace your role in His eternal plan. The promise in Revelation 21:4 is not just about the end of pain, it's about the fulfillment of purpose. The tears wiped away are not just from earthly sorrows, but from the struggles of a soul longing to reconnect with its Creator. When the old order passes away, what remains is the pure, divine connection that was always meant to be. For God's chosen ones, this awakening is the ultimate goal. It is the moment when everything, every challenge, every lesson, every bond makes perfect sense in the light of God's eternal purpose. It's a reminder that our journey, while often difficult, is leading us towards something far greater than we can imagine. Part 4. Inspiring Call to Action. No voice. As we come to the end of this journey, it's time to take these truths and apply them to your own life. Knowing these secrets is only the beginning. The transformation begins when you reflect, act, and embrace your role in God's eternal plan. Take a moment to reflect on your spiritual journey. Meditate on the passages we've explored today. Think about how they resonate with your life, the struggles you faced, the victories you've achieved, and the purpose that has always been pulling at your heart. Each passage is not just a teaching, but a mirror, reflecting God's work in your life across time. Begin by seeking God's guidance through prayer. Open your heart and ask Him to reveal the next steps in your journey. Let Him show you how to align your choices with His divine plan, whether it's forgiving someone, stepping into a new calling, or simply trusting Him more deeply. Let His wisdom guide you. Live purposefully. The Bible tells us that God's chosen ones are called to live with intention, to walk in faith, and to act as vessels for His light in the world. Consider how you can use what you've learned today to make an impact on your life, on those around you, and on the greater purpose God has for you. Finally, share this message. If these truths have touched your heart, there is someone else in your life who is searching, waiting, and longing for the same awakening. Share this video with them. Encourage them to explore these secrets and begin their own spiritual journey. Together, we can build a community of believers, seekers, and chosen ones. A generation empowered by faith, inspired by truth, and united in purpose. When we come together, the power of God's plan is amplified, and His light shines brighter in the world. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins anew. Step forward boldly, knowing you are part of something eternal, something extraordinary. And remember, the decisions you make today shape not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Share this message, live your purpose, and inspire others to do the same. Together, we can walk the path God has laid out for His chosen ones. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this journey of discovery and reflection. Your presence here is not a coincidence. It is a testament to the divine calling on your life. By watching, engaging, and reflecting on these truths, you have become part of something greater. A community united by a shared desire to explore God's eternal wisdom and uncover the purpose He has woven into our lives. Every question you've pondered, every comment you've shared, and every moment you've spent with us today is meaningful. It shows your commitment to seeking the truth, your openness to God's plan, and your courage to step into the role of one of His chosen ones. You are a vital part of this divine movement, and your journey inspires others to walk their path with faith and purpose. Your participation is powerful. By sharing your thoughts and engaging with this message, you are not only deepening your understanding, but also helping to spread life-changing wisdom to those who need it most. Together, we are fulfilling a purpose far greater than any one of us could achieve alone. Through your faith and willingness to share, you are a light in this world, illuminating the path for others to find their way to God's truth. Thank you for being here, for believing, and for embracing the extraordinary role God has called you to play. Together, we are building a community that reflects His love, spreads His wisdom, and inspires others to live with divine purpose. You are part of this sacred mission, and for that, we are deeply grateful. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the 7 hidden truths we've uncovered together. Each secret is a piece of a larger puzzle, revealing the depth of God's love and the intentionality of His plan for His chosen ones. From the cycle of spiritual preparation to the ultimate goal of spiritual awakening, these truths remind us that our lives are part of a divine narrative that spans beyond time itself. Each secret has shown us that nothing in our lives is random. Our trials refine us, our choices shape us, and our connections with others strengthen us for the divine purposes we are meant to fulfill. These truths aren't just stories. They are a roadmap for understanding your place in God's eternal masterpiece. Your life is more significant than you can imagine. It is part of a divine design that only God Himself can see in its entirety. Step forward in faith, knowing that every moment, every challenge, and every triumph is part of a sacred plan. Live boldly, embracing the role you were created to play in alignment with God's will. Trust that He has equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose, and let that knowledge inspire you to live with courage, conviction, and hope. As we close, let us reflect on the powerful words of Philippians 1:6. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. These words are a promise, a reminder that God is not finished with you. The work He has started in your life is part of a greater masterpiece, one that He will bring to completion in His perfect time. Your journey is just beginning, and we're honored to walk it with you. Let's continue uncovering God's mysteries, encouraging one another, and growing into the divine purpose He has for each of us. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next chapter of this incredible journey.